Self-love and selling art never exist in the same sentence, even though a lot of artists will or are at this moment not selling enough art because of a lack of self-love. So let me explain that for a moment. You've definitely in your life had that moment in time where you bought shoes and you needed fancy shoes and you wanted the best shoes, and so for that one moment in time you bought the most expensive shoes you've ever bought in your life, and you really cherish them, you even polish them, and you only wear them on really nice occasions, and you kind of conserve them through time because you love them so much, and you don't want to have that moment where you have to say goodbye of those shoes, That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you, as an artist, love yourself, actually like yourself with your flaws, with all of your shortcomings, you will walk that extra mile. Just like you do for the shoes, you will do that for yourself. You will study a little bit more. You will work out. You will eat healthy food. You will recognize, hey, wait a minute, I'm not putting enough time in learning how to sell art. Let's do that. You will stop neglecting particular parts of it because you really, really cherish it that much. And so practicing self-love through, for example, meditation, through, for example, journaling, there are a lot of ways to do that. Like, that's an essential. And it's not talked enough about because, let's face it, a lot of artists, they live a very solitary life. They go into studio, they start making art, they start painting, they start etc., etc., etc. And before you know it, you lose contact with the rest of life. You lose contact with your friends. And it can become very negative space. Depression rates in the arts are really, really high because of a reason. It's not that easy. And in those moments, self-doubt kicks in. And in those moments, you start to get into that negative self-talk, and those moments, those moments are tipping points where a lot of careers are made and where a lot of careers break. And so it's very important to have some kind of system to control your self-love. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this. Let's talk in a more practical way about this, how this actually plays out in life. What I see a lot of artists do is worship creativity. Why? Because as an artist, you need to be original. You need to be new and unique and creative. And so worshiping creativity is a really smart tactic, or so at least that's how it seems in the beginning. And so what happens when you worship creativity is that you will want to get towards that level of creativity that you worship. And in our society, we often believe that the way to get there is to not let ourselves off the hook that easily, to criticize ourselves and to figure out our mistakes, etc., etc. And so here's the thing, if you worship creativity, you really admire it, you will live your life feeling like an imposter and a fraud. That's just a given. Why? Because by worshiping creativity that much, you will criticize and always put yourself under the barrier. What I see a lot of times is that people, the more creative they become, the more serious they take their art practice, the more they start to doubt on themselves and the more negative self-talk that comes. Why? Because they think they need that in order to grow. Some kind of strange notion that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I see this happening with a lot of artists that I cherish a lot. They are so immersed in the idea of creativity that they start to negatively self-talk more and more and more and doubt themselves because of that more and more and more. What they think they're doing is putting more pressure on themselves so that they grow more. What actually happens is that they're going in that negative spiral. And so how does that lead back to self-love? Well, self-love is the cure for that. Self-love is the actual cure for that. If you love yourself, and it's not one or the other. You can love yourself with your flaws, with your shortcomings, acknowledging them and then working on them. Shortcomings and flaws are not something that make it impossible for you to love yourself. No, you can do both. Self-love is an essential ingredient, and there are moments in time where I really loved life, and then suddenly, for no reason whatsoever, I lost that love. I lost that self-love, and so that can happen. It's not a DNA thing where you just get that and then forever and ever and ever you will love yourself or you will be happy or whatever. No, it's a thing that you have to cultivate and learn how to cultivate as an artist. And through that, so here's the thing, where does it connect with selling art, online or offline or whatever? Where does it connect with that? When you cherish yourself, cherish your art, you will find a way. You will find a way to contact that gallery that needs to help you, or to contact that art collector that is interested in your work. And so that's where it all comes together. If you don't love yourself deep inside, you kind of despise yourself, or you're just not okay with yourself, you will not find that way. You will not deem it necessary to develop and grow into becoming a better businessman, for example, when that is something that you need to train, becoming a better salesperson, when that is something that you need to train. When you don't cherish your mechanism, your biology, you will not grow towards that. And so that's where it all boils down to. I hope this video helped. My name is Dries Ketels, and I hope to see you again here online on this channel. That's your choice. I would, if I were you, subscribe. Okay, ciao.